My name is Sofia, she, her pronouns. I graduated from Martingrove in 2018. I played the viola back then, but I still do. I now go to McMaster and I'm about to finish my last year in the health sciences program.
Why did you choose to take music, not only like while starting high school, but take it throughout high school?
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed the break that it gave me from my other classes back when I was at Martingrove, and honestly still now. Like I took a lot of science-based courses, which it can get really repetitive, like studying for tests, doing chapter practice questions, all that good stuff. So going to music was a nice break from all of that, and you got to do hands-on things every single class. So that's one of the main reasons that I stayed consistent with it throughout high school and even now.
Yeah, I definitely find that too. I think it's like a nice break, especially like if you have like math in the morning and then you come and have strings in the afternoon. It's nice.
Yeah, you almost stop thinking about the other things while you're doing it.
Yeah. All in all, how would you say that music contributed to your Martingrove experience?
It was definitely it's one of the first things I remember when I think back to my high school experiences, which is really nice. I would think above all, the community that it created, I think, is the thing that I remember from it. A lot of my friends from Martingrove were involved in music. And like even now, one of my housemates in university, she's like literally living downstairs, was also in band at Martingrove. She's doing a minor in music with me as well. So like the connections it builds are really special. And I think it also even gives you the opportunity to connect with people that you might not usually hang out with or talk to, which I think is really nice. So I think that's probably the most memorable thing from it.
I think if you could just give a bit more details on how you stayed involved in music in university, because you mentioned like your music minor and things like that.
Yes, for sure. So I think the first thing that I knew I wanted to do is that I knew I wanted to continue playing in some sort of ensemble. So I started there. I looked at the School of the Arts website for McMaster, and I looked at the different ensembles they have and how to get involved. So for Mac, how it works is they hold auditions in September, and you don't need to be an art student or anything at all to audition. In fact, I would say most people in the ensemble are from other faculties, which is also very cool. But you just sign up, and then you get the chance to audition. You prepare two of your own pieces, and if you get accepted, thankfully I play the viola, and there was only one other viola auditioning, I think, in my first year, so I got lucky in that sense, and they took me. But that's how I started getting involved. And I actually took the opportunity to take that ensemble, and instead of doing it just as a club, they offered the opportunity for students to take it as a course. So that's how I got my first music credit. And once I knew I could do that, I kind of tinkered with the idea of doing a minor in music. I saw how many courses I would need to take for that to complete it. And I found it was basically worked out to one course a semester. So I realized that was pretty manageable. And kind of from there, I did one course per semester my entire kind of undergrad until now I'm on my last music course. So it all adds up. But I think I've taken a lot of different types of music classes. So there have been performance ones like the ensemble. I've also taken courses like music cognition, so like how music is interpreted by your brain, music history. I've done a project course in music, which has allowed me to kind of experiment with composition and arrangement, which has been so cool, and work like closely with some music profs. So yeah, I think that's kind of where I started, is just by getting involved with an ensemble and then minoring. I also think there's like a lot of really cool extracurricular ways to stay involved in music. Like it doesn't just have to be through academics. There's lots of clubs at every university. I think one cool one that I found in my first year at Mac was called Music and Medicine, where you go and play for patients in the pediatric hospital, the McMaster Children's Hospital we have on campus. So that was a really cool experience. And now I'm actually working with a friend to kind of develop a music program for marginalized youth in Hamilton. So just kind of trying to stay involved in the musical community in a lot of different ways has really helped me not forget how to play my instrument and just continue to practice that kind of area of knowledge, I think.
Wow, that's really amazing, especially like the program you're trying to get started. Wow. So you took music like throughout university as well. So like throughout high school and then throughout university. So have you like not stopped since grade 6?
Yeah, I came to John G in grade 7, and that's when I first got assigned the viola. I don't even know if I picked it, to be honest, but I stuck with it, thankfully, and here we are. I still play it. And yeah, I guess I have taken it since grade 7.
What skills did you learn from playing music, and how did they help you, or how do they continue to help you in your program?
Good question. Yeah, I mean, music and science are very different things. So there's not a lot of like technical knowledge that transfers, but I think you can build a lot of skills by integrating music into your life. So I would say it can like vary. I know we talked about time management earlier. That's been huge. Managing my time to allow myself to still practice my viola even when I'm not taking as many hands-on performance classes, um, and just keep music like make an effort to keep music a part of my life. I would say even playing an ensemble builds excellent skills. It builds a lot of like teamwork skills and listening skills inadvertently because you have to work with so many other people to achieve a task, and that just translates really well over to many things. But including my program, I have tons of group work courses, so all of that teamwork that I've built and other kind of soft skills through music really do translate into, I think, like anything you try to do, but absolutely something like a program like health sciences. I think it's been really helpful.
And then finally, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to anyone taking or either thinking of taking music, and then especially during COVID?
It's really hard during COVID. Even as someone, I think when COVID hit, I'd already been in like doing music for like 6 or 7 years, and it was still really hard. Especially ensemble playing in a virtual setting can be really challenging and demotivating at times, and that's totally okay. I think like we all feel that in the music community. But I think what's really nice about COVID and being home, it does give you a little bit more time in some senses. So it's a cool time to focus on your individual skills, maybe learning pieces, solo pieces for your instrument. Is something I started exploring a little bit more. And I think I've also learned a lot more about digital music software because of COVID. So, for example, for my orchestra last year, we all had to kind of play our individual parts and then upload them to this mixing software called BandLab to align all the music. I just like learned a lot more about the digital music realm, I think, last year as well, when COVID was at its height. But I would absolutely still recommend folks to get involved in music, regardless of if we're in COVID or in person. There's still learning opportunities in both ways. And I think, if anything, it just makes you like a more resilient and better musician because you just end up with a more diverse range of skills.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming and chatting. As a like MCI viola player and someone interested in McMaster, this was really helpful, and I'm really glad that you were able to connect with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.